Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Doc and Lefty, where this is a show that presents all the issues from the sides you hate and the perspectives that you love. See, I miss Blake already. Blake can't be with us tonight. He has suffered a loss in his family, so our prayers, even though he's an atheist, goes out to him and his family, and we are very sorry for your loss. As you can tell, I'm not wearing my traditional garb as president of Old Fat Manistan. Sturgis is coming up here pretty quick, and I'm just kind of getting into the flavor of that with my shirt, Who Ya Fada. And that is apparently a hardcore Hawaiian phrase that they love to talk about. And in fact, if you ever get a chance to go to Hawaii, you have to stop at a place, and this is free advertisement. What do you think of that, Ryan? And it's yes, we do need more money. The Hawaiian Style Cafe up in Waimea. It is awesome. This is where this shirt's from. On today's show, we're going to be talking about the Chattanooga shooter. We're going to be talking about Donald Trump. We're also going to be talking about, we're going to change up the topics just a bit since Blake isn't here. But we're going to talk about that Planned Parenthood video. Apparently there's one of them and the left went poo-poo. That's no big deal. So what? It's heavily edited. All the typical yah-yah. Except yesterday, another one came out, and this gal is blatantly negotiating for baby parts. Disgusting. Don't you agree there, Ryan? Absolutely horrific. Anyway, Ryan is producing the show tonight. It's a blast from the past. I don't think we've been together in what, a year and a half now?
I forget. It's been quite a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time. We've had Maddie, and Maddie has good news. She's out delivering a baby right now as we speak, and we're all the best to her and her family. She's wonderful. Give me just a second as I adjust this microphone. It slipped on me right before we went live. There we go. See, and this is what happens when you do a live show. You have live things that, don't work right. One of the things I want to talk about briefly before we get into the rest of the segments, because this is the international part, and I know a lot of people don't focus too much on the international relations. In Ukraine, there is a battalion called the Azov Battalion, and if can you find a map of Ukraine anywhere? And the Azov Battalion is named after the Azov Sea, and that's the Azov area, obviously. And that is a group of nationalists, and everybody's calling them ultra right-wing nationalists. Well, I hate to tell you this: when you're in a war, there isn't such a thing as a moderate. That's all there is to it. So these people are nationalists, and I'm not going to call them ultra right-wing. What they believe in is a free Ukraine. What they believe in is democracy. What they believe in is more democracy, less control from the centralized government. That's what they believe in. They're the backbone of Ukraine's military in the Donbass. And Donbass is this area that they're fighting over. It's got Lugansk, which is one big city, and Donetsk. And the Donetsk airport is what's been ruined. I mean, it's absolutely obliterated. And the problem is in that area, they have a tendency not to rebuild things. If it's destroyed, you just work around it. The same thing happened in Sumy. Sumy is a little town that's close to the border of Russia. Yeah, you can see Sumy up there in the right-hand corner. If you look down at the lower part of the map, you have Mariupol and you have Crimea, and that's that Sea of Azov. And you can see Lugansk and Donetsk off to the right. And it's basically just like an apple bite that on the left side is Donetsk and on the right side is Lugansk. The H's are pronounced with a G, Lugansk, and that goes all the way around. And this Azov battalion is based in Mariupol, which is right down there on the Sea of Azov. What you can't see is how close, hey, thanks. What you can't see is how close Russia is to Crimea. There is less distance between Russia and Crimea than there is between Iowa and Illinois. That is exactly how close it is over there. So you can see how the Russians want to keep marching south over towards Kherson, which is right above Crimea, in order to be able to link that up and have a bridge. One of the things that Putin is doing for the first time in ever is he's building a bridge between Russia and Crimea. Now, do you have a map of Crimea? We can show exactly where it is. Anyway, hold on. Bring that back. I want to show you where this next thing is. The Azov Battalion is in Lvov. Now, that's the big circle over there by Poland. Why don't you circle that if you can find it? Yeah, it's right there. They are all the way on the other side of the country. The Azov Battalion drove all the way there with Humvees and everything else, and essentially went after the representatives of Kiev, Poroshenko's people there. And the problem is they said, well, we're just going to the gym. That's a long ways to go to the gym. That's like the distance between here and Philadelphia. That's, to put that in perspective, that's about how far that is. So when you're sitting here looking at this, you're going like, well, that doesn't even make sense. So that's where they're fighting. Now put up a sign with Crimea there. So anyway, so there's a standoff over there. The Azov Battalion has called for riots across the nation to get rid of Poroshenko. And so far, most of the people that have been doing the fighting have left the area of Donbass to go protest in cities across the nation. The important cities are, well, Sumy is one of them, Poltava, Kiev, obviously, Lvov, Odessa, Kherson, all those cities. So there's rioting going on in these cities. It's not bad like it was during the Maidan Revolution, but it's still bad. Poroshenko has to take care of this because that's his #1 battalion. It's like the U.S. Army having the Big Red One. And if you know anything about history, that is the Army's, core battalion or army is what it is, the Big Red One. So that's like losing the Big Red One and having the leader of that go, well, hold on. We all have to, let's all rise up. Now, Crimea, Simferopol, right in the middle, is the capital. Sevastopol is where all the Russian ships are. And you can see it's not really connected to Ukraine, except for that crappy little land bridge over the right. Nope, it's not connected there. It's connected, over there on the right. And way, way over on the right, you can see how close Russia and Ukraine are. And that's where Putin is building his forces. And the bottom line is that they have one road in or out. So the military option is out of the question. I don't even think even if we were fighting over Crimea, it would be hard for us to take that back. And of course, the Crimean War, that's where that was fought. So you're looking at a situation where the Ukrainians are just on the verge of civil war and trying to fight the Russians, with a leader that's popularity is around 53%, facing off against a leader whose popularity is 93%. Even though the Russian economy is in the tank, they're losing money right and left. Everybody's freezing assets. Oil is starting to, is bottomed out and is not doing all that well. He still retains 93% approval rating. You know why? He's not apologizing for his actions. All what he's saying is, this is in the best interest of my country. That's what I'm hired to do. That's what I'm doing. Now, all I'm going to say is, I don't wish we had a Putin, but I wish we had somebody who would stand up for our country and not apologize for doing things that are in our best interest. Now, I got 10 seconds. There's been nothing but bad coming out about this Iran deal. The more we find out about it, it's just like Obamacare. This is Iran care. All right. We're going to be back right after this break. We want to thank all of our sponsors, Bertrosian Associates at bertrosianassociates.com, Lubinas Law Firm, Halo Capital, and Des Moines Anesthesia PC. at, I can't remember the number. It's 574-0442. I think that's it. We'll see if I'm right. And 6442. That was close. Halo Capital. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and go check out the latest blogs by Blake. This week I'll be putting up my own blogs. Thanks everybody for tuning in. I'll be back right after this.